Hello and welcome to Fulton Street Beats. Today we're going to answer a few questions about the BYO electric guitar kit. This is a Jem style kit, and it's not this particular one that's in front of me. This is the BYO Jem's kit that we completed, if you watched the series. Was a fun build, a quite fun build, and turned out to be a quite expensive build, but has amazing playability. So what will BYO bring to the table? Let's take a look today. It has arrived. We're going to do an unboxing. We're going to see what components come with this guitar, the quality of the components, the fit, the finish. How does the neck fit into the neck pocket? And how will it compare with the Guitar Kit World DIY Jem style kit, which is also on the way. Should be here any day now. Can't wait to do that comparison. But an important question, because what it boils right down to when we get into these matters of do-it-yourself guitars, is it worth it to build a do-it-yourself guitar versus buying a name brand that's already done and already set up? Is it worth it to you to set the guitar up your way, make it playable your way? Or do you really want that branded name, such as Gibson, Ibanez, Jackson, or what have you? Those questions, hopefully, we can answer a little bit today on Fulton Street Beats. I hope you'll stick around. Don't forget to hit that like button, share, subscribe, and really hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss these episodes. We're going to dive really deep into these do-it-yourself kit guitars, and hopefully we have a lot of fun along the way. I will be right back with that unboxing. Stay right there. And poof, here we are. Got to apologize. Did an unboxing video, and the video kind of got a little corrupted, so we're going to start from this point. So my apologies. We got it unboxed. I'm going over some of the parts, and I would have give you the whole spiel, but we had some audio difficulties with the recording. But let's start over. Okay, so this kit was ordered from BYO Guitars, and it's right now, they got a list price of $299. They're going for $219. What are you getting for your $219? Now, the BYO Jem's kit, which is behind me, and you guys have all seen this. It turned out to be a beautiful, beautiful kit. We got DiMarzio Dark Matter pickups in it. We got some new switches in, a new Ibanez 5-way switch. And it turned out very, 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 very nice. Now, the things that I didn't like about this kit, and I say I didn't like, I love this kit. It went together very nice. The playability is excellent, and everything works fantastic. It had an excellent fretboard. The fretwork was really, really decent on it already, although we did take the time to make it perfect. I've upgraded the tuners, and I never got a chance to play with the factory tuners that it come with. But I'll tell you, when the body came, it's really close to done. It didn't take much work. My gripes were the monkey grip right here didn't have really the right cut here. It still looks amazing, but it's not quite the right cut. And it does not have the recessed cavity plate cover, which I would have liked. And also the input jack didn't have the downward facing input jack, so your cord doesn't pull out like the real Ibanez would. Minute things for a guitar with great playability. Also, this one has a scarf joint neck, as you can see, but like I said, it's a nice maple neck, and everything works fantastic. It does not have the string tree up top, which is really not a problem because the angle of the neck keeps the strings at the precise angle it needs to be anyhow. Playability of this guitar was excellent. So this is the one we're doing our comparison to right now because it's the one that we have, and it is, as you can see, my trem is a little high right now, and that's because I've ran a different gauge string on it with a different tuning. That's going to vary, but generally I like to keep my whammy bar at a 2-inch height, like Steve Vai. So when I set these up, that's what I set it up to. I don't set it up to the angle, for the angle of the tremolo. I set it up to the height from the pick guard to the end of the trem bar for 2 inches. So there's a reason I'm taking this off, because we're going to do some, because this is actually a proper trem bar, and it's the right angles and such. So let's get to this kit. What are you getting for your $219? Well, here's your body. And right off the bat, you'll notice that this one has the tiger claw cut out where this Jem does not. And that was another difference. Although it does look good, and like I said, playability is great, it does not have the tiger claw. So right there, BYO, tiger claw, nice. This is a total different system inside. Some people might hate it, some people might like it. I'm on the fence because it doesn't have the cutout pockets for the for your pickups. It's one opening. How is that going to change the guitar tone in the long run? I don't know yet, but we're going to find out. But it does make putting your wiring inside of it much easier, especially if you're going to go with some aftermarket pickups or pots or what have you, and you have to rewire. Sometimes it's a pain to get your wiring correct to fit in all the cavities, and with the BYO Jems, I had to do quite a bit to make them fit properly. I had to take the time to do that. Now, to start, we're going to be running these pickups that come with it, and these do look like DiMarzio pickups. They have the texture, but they're not. Are they bad? I don't know. We'll have to see how they sound, because honestly, I never tested the one on the BYO Jems kit. Are they the same as the one on the BYO Jems kit? I don't know. They seem to be a bit heavier, so we'll have to see. The pick guard it's a nice pick guard. The plies seem to be done nicely. There's no rough edges around the edge. And there should be, hopefully, a protective coating, because if it's not, it'd be pretty dull. But we're going to check that out. And if there's not a protective coating on here, that would be the first I've ever seen. But I'm going to use my fingernails and see if I can peel back anything. Usually on these, there's not just one, but two. And I am not feeling one at the moment. However, there is a protective coating on the cavity cover for the back. Now, this is where we start running into some things that I'm not very keen to while we're on the subject. So, if we got the right tiger claw and we have our cutout for our jack, this is where we start running into some issues with this kit. And this shows me that quality control is kind of not where it should be, because this cavity cover for the jack does not fit into the hole. No matter which way you turn it, it is not cut right to fit into the hole, which means I'm going to have to trim this, because we're not going to get into re-sanding this out, because it's a certain design, and I'm not going to ruin the take away the integrity of the wood. So I have to trim this out, but it's just not right. It doesn't fit. So little bad quality control there. Also, something that kind of bothers me, and I wasn't expecting, is this not to be recessed for this cavity cover. Now, I expected it on the BYO Jems kit because it was such a cheap kit. However, this one, obviously, since they've done it here, you'd think it'd be routed out for the cover. And it's simply not. And that kind of bothers me a little bit. However, the monkey grip does have the proper cuts, and it is the right size. It does need a little bit of finishing around the edges, but it's decent. The body's nice. It's nice mahogany. There's no damage. I think it's going to make an excellent looking body. It is mahogany. And I think playability will be okay. The routing on this guitar seems nice. But we'll have to, it's going to be really easy to shield this for sure. If you watch my other video on the BYO Jems, putting the shielding inside was kind of a pain. This one's going to be a little bit easier to do. So let me get this down out of the way, and we'll move on to truss rod cover. Now we have a truss rod cover here. I believe this one, I'm hoping that these are not this dull and there is a coating over. I believe there's a coating over these guys. So I just don't have the fingernails to get it off. But I believe that there is coatings over these. Almost positive. Anyhow, there's our truss rod cover. Ibanez look. We do have a string tree. Does require, going to need some polishing up on that. It does have some Mars in it. We just have standard tuners. Tuners are the exact same thing that comes with pretty much any kit. These are from the BYO Jems. These are from the BYO. They're the exact same tuners. Cheap strings we won't be using because we have the Slinky Cobalts. We're going to be running a 9-42 on these. And there's some good things about this. And this is the neck. And this is a 5-piece neck. And it's a legit 5-piece neck. It's not a 5-piece look. It literally is a 5-piece neck. It does have the proper headstock look to it. It does have a very finished and clean truss rod cover. And I think that when you get this kit, this is the part of the kit where you're paying the extra money, really, is for this neck. It's a very nice neck. Now, keep in mind, these sit in warehouses. They go through shipping, different climates, and you're going to definitely need to do some adjustment to the neck. Even after you string up the guitar, you're going to need to adjust these because with a floating trem system, it does put pressures on the neck and it does change the way your truss rod is. So you're going to have to do your fine adjustments with your truss rod after you get the guitar together. Make sure everything's acclimated to your temperature. That's the best way to do it. I'd get the guitar together. Personally, I put them together and I hang the guitar in the environment it's going to be in, and I wait a couple days and then I adjust everything out. The locking nut appears to be of decent quality, and it's the right size for the neck. Yeah, most impressive for the neck. I like it. The inlays are absolutely stunning. The frets on these appear to be already polished. There's no sharp edges. It's as a matter of fact, I don't think I'm really going to need to do as far as sanding the edges of the frets down. There's not much to do because they're very, very smooth. Will I need to do fret work? Well, I don't know yet. We'll have to dive into that to see. I'm thinking I'm gonna, because I'm thinking that I'm seeing some kind of high frets that are a little high. But it looks really nice. Does have the green leaves on these as well as the pearl white, and it does have a scalloped fretboard in the first 4 frets, which is also nice. Now, there is some other things. If you are a nitpicker, and you're a nitpicker and you're expecting this to be set up just like a Ibanez Jem, I will tell you when you put this neck into... Now, let me back up. The BYO Jems kit, the way this neck was, and the reason I'm referring to this is because the kit went together so well and I didn't have any issues. Now, this doesn't have the first 4 scalped, but it does have a beautiful, beautiful fretboard on this. Now, where your body meets on these, generally the point where the body meets is supposed to meet on this dot on the fretboard here. They're a perfect lineup, a perfect match, and it should line up perfectly with your cutout, with your route out for your pick or your humbucker, and your humbucker should almost touch the neck, not quite, almost, when you get everything together. That's pretty much a standard with all Ibanez Jems, and this kit was made so, well, that was the right way to do it, and it turned out perfectly, and it met perfectly across. So the fitment was really good with this guitar. This guitar is a bit off, about a 1/4 inch if you want to take those exact Ibanez measurements into account. Now, it does have a neck that fits nicely into the pocket, and you're not going to slide this neck in like this. You're going to come in from the top, here, and you're going to pull it back, okay? And when you pull this neck back, you're going to put it until it meets the routing point here, okay? And when you do that, you'll notice that you're off a 1/4. The body's coming up a 1/4 of an inch past the dot. So what we have to find out is the measurements. Is it the way the body was cut, which I'm going to almost guarantee it is because it looks like there's a bit more meat right here than is on the other one. But it's just past it. Is it going to affect playability? I doubt it. But it's just one of those things that you pay attention to, because when you put one of these together and you actually know how they go, then you pay attention to things like that because you want everything to line up perfectly. These scalp frets are going to make a huge difference in playability up top. I really do like that. I am really mostly digging the neck and the trem system. Let's go to that real quick, because you guys know when we get these kits, I'll give you a for instance here. Here's a gold trem, and this is brand new, and I bought it, and I was going to use this on a different kit, and it probably appears fantastic to look at right now, but it's not fantastic. And most of these trims that you get with kits aren't fantastic. The one that came with the Leo James, the black one, is very fine-tunable, very adjustable. It appears to be very strong. It doesn't lose tune. It holds very well. This one appears to be, the plating on it is not so hot. And we're licensed under Floyd Rose. We have that up in here. But when we take a look at the one that just came with this is, well, let's do a comparison. Let's weigh the two. So there is a difference in trims and even between guitar kit brands. So we're going to weigh this one. And we are at, well, 10.75 ounces. Okay? So then we're going to go weigh this one, 12.30 ounces. So it's a much heavier trem, and when you turn your fine tuners on these, you'll notice that it's much smoother with no grit, more adjustability, just all around looks better and feels better, and definitely has a heavier block, even though they do look the same when you look at them. Now, the funny thing about that is if you look at the thickness of your base plate, it's thicker on the lighter trem than the heavier trim. So it's quality of steel. This is probably going to be more of a potted steel than this is. So definitely a better trim. Now we're going to move on to the trem bars. And like I said, this black one is spot on. This is the way it should be if you're going to do your setup. And when you get it in there and you want your 2-inch, I say 2 inches because that's where Steve Vai sets his. That's where I set mine. And that's going to vary your angle of your bridge, of your tremolo, or your free float. So these are different. And this makes a big difference also. So the black one's spot on. And when we line these up, you'll see that chrome one, see how much farther that comes up in the air? Well, in order to get your 2-inch, your distance of 2 inches from your pick guard, your trem has to drop down that much to get it. So, geez, what are we looking at for a distance there? I'll give you a rough estimate. So if we're looking at 2 inches and then we add another inch, that's a big difference. That means the trem is going to sit in to do it to 2 inches. Your trem is actually going to sit in and not, even with Steve Vai's, it's not flush. It's raised a little bit to get that 2 inch with the correct bar. But we put that if we use that trem bar, it's going to be up just like that to get the 2 inches. And we don't want that. So I'm probably going to be looking for another trem bar. And I've even seen them worse than this. I have the gold one that came with this that's even higher. Very, very strange. We can heat them, we can bend them. And that's probably what I'll do. I'll probably just manipulate a little bit to get it in the position it's supposed to be until we upgrade the trem system in general and put probably a Floyd Rose special on it and maybe even upgrade the block. So that's where we're at with this kit. As far as fitting everything together, like I said, just did that. We do have problems. This will not fit in the cutout, in the recess in the back, will not fit. And man, it sucks having to trim these because it's just a pain. I do have a blade to do it, but it's just a pain. And while we're here, it does come with your cable. It does come with all your Allen wrenches, and it does come with your truss rod Allen. It does come with a very nice input. The input jack, actually, I was really surprised because that's a nice quality input jack right there. That impressed me. The pickups look good, and I'm trying to figure some things out about these pickups, and we'll touch on that later on. I don't know what brand they are. I don't know how they're going to sound. We'll have to see. They are different from the BYO Jem's kit. And it's really weird. We'll touch on it later on. I think when we start the build, we'll touch on it later on. Chrome knobs, very nice, not gritty. The pots seem nice. Are they labeled anything? I don't see any labeling on them. BYO Jem's kit did say 500K on them. The switch on this is odd too. The switch on this appears to be much better than the one that came with the BYO Jem's kit, and it's different. It's wired differently too. So this is more close to an Ibanez, which is pretty good. So I'm hoping everything works out right. Not impressed with the packaging. I expected the BYO kit to be more of a presentation. This is the exact same box that the $149 kit came in. Exact same packaging. So no frills there. Comes in a box. Who knows how long it's been in a warehouse and what have you. Is it a perfect guitar? Is it going to be perfect? No, it's not going to be. Is it going to be playable? Probably. How is it going to compare to Guitar Kit World guitar? We're going to have to see. I have high hopes for the Guitar Kit World guitar. Really high hopes for many reasons that we'll get into later on. But for $219, is this worth $219? It's worth it if you're into building guitars and you want to set up something to be your own. The neck is, I'll be honest, the neck's really what you're paying for. 5-piece neck, scallop frets. So that's really what you're paying for. Am I going to have to put work into this neck? Man, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll get there. I'm almost tempted to build this kit up temporarily to see how it plays out of the box. I don't think I've seen anybody do that, but it's just a hassle taking everything apart again and starting over after you're done. So let's just do it the regular way we're supposed to do it. Get the body right. Stain it. We're going to use a stain on this. I'm going to use what they call, it's a wood stain. They call it barn red, but we're going to be doing some highlights underneath first. And then we're going to be using some lacquer over this body. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Fulton Street Beats. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below if you want to know anything particular. If I missed something, let me know. I think I'm looking at the claw, and everything's pretty standard. And trying to see the wiring. There's no, and another thing, this kit is nothing's. The BYO Jem's kit has a wiring harness that's plug and play. It's a $149 kit. This kit's not plug and play. It does require soldering, things like that. BYO Jem's kit came with the ground wire already soldered to the claw and ready to quick connect to the ground for your pickups and your switch and your pots. So differences there, and I think you should be aware of those differences. I do like the fact that it came with a string tree. Even though some people say with the angle of the neck it doesn't need a string tree, I think it's a good thing for fine adjustments, so you don't have any sharp notes or flat notes or whatever. You can adjust your tree, so that's pretty cool. Once again, thanks for watching Fulton Street Beats. If I missed anything, like I said, let me know. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell because we're going to start this build. And then we also have the Guitar Kit World kit that's on its way right now. Should be here any day. We will do an unboxing of that one also. Not like a pseudo unboxing like we just did here. I apologize for that. But we will do an unboxing of that and see the comparison. And that also has a 5-piece neck with scallop frets. It was more money. $60 more. But I believe the components and the cavity cover and all that stuff is routed out properly. So we'll have to see. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.